Hello guys, I'm actually back again. I'm really surprised I've been keeping up with my videos. I'm very proud of myself. I'm trying to really focus on this whole art thing. Anyway, so I was making some, I guess, ephemera and embellishments for journals and whatnot last night, trying to bust through my tons of scraps and excess papers, as you can see. And I was kind of bummed that I didn't turn the video camera on, so I thought I would do that today because I have some ideas. So last night, this is what I was making. Honestly, don't know where I first saw this idea. If I could remember, I would tell you, and I'm not saying that this is my idea, but I've been doing these a lot in my journals, and it uses up those little itty bitty scraps that we all have. And they are, oops, let me zoom in here. Hold on. No, wrong way. Okay. So they are strips, but they're double-sided. I like a chunky and super full edge on my junk journals. And this is a quick way to do it instead of having to tab every page if you don't want to do that, or if you want to do that but then add extra chunkiness onto your journal. So the way these work, let me find a journal. Hold on. Here, I have this one. So I'll show one, and I think I have one in here. Do I have one in here? Maybe I don't have one in here. Oh, that is upside down. I don't think I actually have one in here, but we'll use this one as kind of an example. So say you have a page in your journal and you want it to be extra chunky. I don't know, this is probably the right height. So anyways, you just embellish both sides. It kind of looks funny when you first start, but once you add fabric and stitching, if you choose, then it looks kind of cute. And then it just slides on to the edge, just like that. This happens to be the perfect length, because apparently I like to make my journals this size. And you can glue it on the ends and make these a pocket, or you can glue the whole thing down, or you could stitch the whole thing down. But if you just kind of, I kind of like how that looks right there. If you only do the tops and the bottoms, we'll use a paper clip to hold it closed real quick. If I can find one, which I can't, so I won't do that, but we'll grab just a journaling card here. So if it was just attached there, you could slide something in there, right? And then you've got two pockets or tuck spots out of one. So, oops. So that is what I was doing last night with scraps while watching, gosh, I was watching so much YouTube. So I made a couple different ones with the folds, with just some scraps that I had. And then I made one that could just be used as a belly band. And I have so many strips of this as scrap paper that this is the perfect scrap buster, if you will. And then I made some little embellishments here. So I'm kind of going a little backwards in my plan. I started getting rid of a lot of stuff. Journals that I had made that I forgot I made. I'm on to artwork that I'm trying to get rid of. But then, of course, as we do, we look through everything and, oops, we get inspired to make more. And as it happens, I have been getting a lot of messages on Instagram asking if I have other journals available, or if I'm going to make other journals. oops, wrong way. And I wasn't going to, but I love making them. And let's be honest, being self-employed, the struggle is real to pay your bills. So if I can make a few bucks off of them, why not, right? So in an effort to downsize, I'm actually making more junk, which is beautiful junk. And that's okay. So that's what we're gonna do today. And one of the things, let's see, I'll start. Let me see if I have any scraps, like long skinny scraps again. I do. If you're gonna do the folded ones, I would suggest your strips of paper be 2 inches, and then make them a little longer than you think you're going to need, because then you could trim them. And to be honest with you, like, let's say I cut it here, I still have a cute little tab that I can use, right? So this one I did a long time ago, and I think I just did paper with this, and then I stitched it down the center. So let's start with this one, because I have this paper, and I want to say this is Prima paper. This is just a really good way. Let's do 1.5 inches to use a bunch of your scraps. I'm not 100% sold that I love this paper trimmer at all. And then my journals are usually no more than 8 inches. 8.5 actually. So let's trim this down to 8.5. Got a little spare piece. Let's do this one 2 inches, because we're gonna fold it. This paper is actually a really heavy cardstock. I want to say it's 120. And then we'll do this one folded. Oh, I might be able to get 2 out of this. Yep. All right. And then let's go 8.5, because I know that my journals are never bigger than 8.5 in length. Oh, I turned my ceiling fan off because there was a really annoying hum in the background, and because I don't use a microphone or any fancy recording equipment, I don't know if it's the ceiling fan or not. So we're testing with this video. I'm sorry if there is an obnoxious humming noise in the background. It could just be the way that I record. But it's really hot in my room with my ceiling fan off. It is 99 degrees out right now with 1,000,000% humidity. So that's fun. All right, these are single strips, and then these are gonna be folded. Wow, do I not know how to measure? All right, well, it doesn't have to be exact, as long as it's close, right? What is that? Oh, that's 2 1/4. Oh no, math. 1 1/8, right? Yeah. So with the thicker cardstock, I do score it on my board because it's easier to get a clean score. You don't have to do this, but with thinner paper, or even if you're just using copy paper, you have to do that. Put this away. I always stand up when I'm doing this. Hold on, I need to find my other bone folder. All right, so I like to just throw all my pieces on with glue before I stitch, and then I stitch them all at once. God, it's hot in here. I don't know how long I can sit in here without my ceiling fan on. I have my air conditioning on, but the humidity in Arizona, ugh, awful right now. Monsoon season. All right, so I've got those. And then let's get some scraps out. These aren't really scrap. Oh, those are fun. These are, I have digitals of these. They used to be in my Shopify shop, but then I closed that because, I don't know, I was questioning everything and decided to put it on vacation mode for a little bit. But where are all of my good scraps here? Hold on, this is all jelly print mixed media. Let's get that out of the way. Anyways, yeah, so these, I actually have digitals and I'm thinking of bringing them back. So I had a crazy thought and I thought maybe, I don't know, I don't have a whole lot of YouTube subscribers. Hopefully that'll change. But I was thinking I might actually start a Patreon. I don't know yet. I haven't decided 100%. But maybe digitals and you know, things like that could be part of one of the tiers. We can use those. Oh look, these are fun little scraps. Hold on, let me pull this out here. What do you think? I asked in one of my other videos that only 32 people have watched, who you subscribe to on Patreon, because I am looking for people to support and watch on Patreon. There's so many, I just don't know. I don't know. I can't make a decision. It's funny, certain things are super easy for, that's fun. Super easy for me to make decisions on. Other things in my life, I hem and haw until I'm forced into a decision I probably don't want to make. So, let's see. For now, I think that'll do. And then, oh, you know what? This is my little scrap bin. And I use this for everything. There's fabric and paper in here. I absolutely love this little bin. It's funny, I'm trying to get rid of my scraps, but my favorite thing to use is somebody else's scraps. I purchased this from somebody on Etsy. If I can find the link, I'll put it below. But I bought a bunch of fabric scraps from her and paper scraps because everybody's got such different tastes that it's always fun to work with something new, right? So let's get out some glue. And where is my art glitter glue? This is almost empty. And I'm sad because then I'm going to be out and I don't want to repurchase it. It's expensive for glue. I've been using Reptile glue and I have another bottle of this. So I'll probably stick with that for a little while. Huh. Okay. So I guess I should just start, right? Yeah, these are all too big. Oh, these are fun colors. Let's do something with these colors. And this is the hardest part, is getting started. Oops, sorry. Ugh, this is a horrible spot for my camera. I like these bright cherry colors. Let's see. So you can do it all paper, or you can do a mix, or you can do it all fabric. It really just depends on what you feel like working with. So we're gonna start with a folded one. And we're just gonna start gluing things down. Okay, here's a tip. If you are gonna stitch down the center of these, work on one side, stitch it, and then work on the other side and stitch it, because if you have both sides done, it's really hard to not overlap your pieces and get them stuck where you don't want them, if that makes sense. So like on this, so I have things that are hanging over the edge, right? And I can't open it all the way without bending those pieces. Or like if I was gonna sew this side, this is touching, and there's a chance, because it did happen, you can see where I ripped it right there, there's a chance that you'll sew through a part you don't want to sew through. So that's my tip right there. Let's ink the edges because I feel like, sorry, I keep hitting everything. I feel like that's what I want to do. Okay, and it just gives it a little bit of a grungier look. You can do this afterwards, but it does take a little bit longer. And then before I glue anything down, I kind of lay it out. You can overlap. I lay it out just to see what it's going to look like. So we're doing pinks and whatnot, right? Okay, so my trick for making a ruffle without sewing. Where are my scissors? All right, so this is where my art glitter glue comes in handy. All right, so we are actually, hold on, we're gonna wait on that one because I need to glue everything else down. So what do you guys think about Patreon? Do you guys subscribe? Do you watch Patreon? Do you think it's just, I don't know, you think it's narcissistic wanting to do a Patreon? Do you support it? I'm still on the fence. Like, I love showing my process, even though I don't have a whole lot of subscribers at this point. I still love showing my process. I'm looking for something brighter. Here we go. That'll work. And I'll still continue to do that, but I thought it would be fun as a way for me to make a little extra money and also kind of get rid of some things. To do something like that. I don't know. I think it would be fun. I'm just trying to pull out colors in the same family here. This is probably going to be a really long video because, oh, that's fun. And that one. All right, we'll be done with that, with picking things out. Oops. Oh, nope, I wanted it this way. I try and reserve pieces for both sides. So like this will go, this piece, because it came from here, will go somewhere on this side. Give it some texture here. I'm not prepared for this. We'll use some punches. And so you can tell by the color of this how old this punch is. It's a Martha Stewart punch. I absolutely love this punch, but I think this is the one that's kind of broken. I don't think it punches very well. Let's see. Let's see. I think it gets stuck. No, maybe not. Maybe it's not this one. I have a couple Martha Stewart punches that just don't work great. Yep, this is it. See, it gets stuck. It doesn't cut all the way through. That's okay. All right. Where? Okay, we did this. We did this. I want that off the edge. And then, trust me, it's gonna look kind of wonky right now, but it'll look better, I promise, once we get all the layers on. Well, that was crooked. Oh well. So do you guys like to use other people's scraps, or is that just me? I don't know. It's fun because I look at things that I never would have normally purchased. Ew, I don't like those colors at all. No, let's go back to one of these because this is at least in the color scheme. So it just kind of makes me think outside the box a little from what I'm used to. All right, here we go. This will be, I only need half of this anyway. Well, it's gonna go here. I'm actually gonna put a ruffle there. Put that there. I promise this is gonna make sense when it's done. It's weird, right? And then I think I'm gonna do fabric. Okay, so I'm gonna start, gluing things down. I like the art glitter glue because it dries fairly quick. The reptile glue dries quick too, but the tip on it is bigger, so I always get more coming out than I want. And I don't use a whole lot of glue because I'm gonna stitch afterwards anyway, so it doesn't really need to have a lot of glue on it. And then we'll put this here. And then in a second, I'm going to show you how to do, well, that's going to make this side really hard to stitch. So let's move this in. There we go. Oops, it's crooked. Wow, I'm really bad at doing things straight here. All right. Can you even see where I'm at? I should probably get better in frame, huh? All right, so to make a ruffle, there's really no length that it has to be, but we're gonna use a little bit of glue, a little bit more than normal, and we're gonna just start by scrunching this tip, the edge, and pushing it down. And then use your bone folder, your finger, or whatever, and you're just gonna kind of squish and hold. Push your fabric in and hold it. This works better if you use hot glue, because hot glue stays and dries fairly quick, but you will burn your fingers, so I don't do that anymore. That's how I learned how to do this. Do you guys remember the Carol Duvall show? I'm showing my age. She was on in the mornings at 9 o'clock during the week. I remember. My mom and I used to watch it when I wasn't in, you know, if I didn't have school or whatever. And I picked up 90% of my little tips and tricks through her. I remember she taught me how to sew my first tote bag. My mom taught me how to sew, but Carol Duvall showed me how to make a really quick and easy tote bag. And that is how I've been making my tote bags ever since. Oh, you know what? I forgot to ink that one. Which is fine because I can fold it and ink it now. So this is going to have a stitch going down it, so it's not really going to matter that it's all kind of ugly looking. But anyways, I'm pretty sure I learned how to do that ruffle design on Carol Duvall. I need something there to cover up that white. So let's find another fabric. Doesn't necessarily have to match, but could work. I like to do, oh no, I don't like that. You don't have to make ruffles either. Or what you can do is if you feel like sewing and you just want to make a bunch of ruffles, you just use your gathering stitch and do it that way. This is too teal. I don't More of blue, right? Like maybe this one? Oh, no wait, that's a cluster. Don't want to use that. At one point I had a ton of little tiny ruffles that I made using this fabric. And it's funny because I have had this for a couple years now. I purchased it from this Etsy shop quite some time ago. And I still have a ton of fabric left from it. Like all of this, minus that purple piece, because that's a piece of my fabric. Yeah, tons of it left. And it was, I mean, it was a lot to begin with, but the fact that I've been using this for years, and why I like this so much is this fabric. This is really hard to find, for me anyways, this like vintagey looking tiny little flower fabric. I have a hard time finding fabric like that. I know Hobby Lobby sells it, but I don't shop at Hobby Lobby anymore. For reasons. Don't come for me. I just don't like supporting them. Okay. Which makes me sad because they have really cute things. Fun fact, did I already talk about this in my last video? I might have. I did go in there the other day. Didn't realize they no longer do coupons. Well, I did know that, but and then I realized that nothing was on sale anymore. And then I read an article about how they got sued and had to take their coupons away, and also makes sense why, because their fabric and picture frames and whatnot used to be on sale all the time, and now they're not, which I thought was strange, but now it makes sense because they got sued for deceptive marketing, I guess. I don't know if it was marketing. I don't know. It was an interesting article. But anyways, I digress. I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, Hobby Lobby has lots of this kind of fabric, but I don't know. I can't support them. I can't support that company anymore. If you shop there, no judgment on you. I get it. They have great stuff, and I do think I have a lot of things in my house from Hobby Lobby. It's not like I boycotted them and then decided to get rid of everything I own, but I don't know. I just can't do it anymore. Can't do it, especially once the pandemic started and some information got leaked. Whether it's 100% true or not, I don't know. But let's find some fun little flowers that don't match, because these do not match. That's okay. Let's do it anyway. No, this one. So these are kind of time consuming, but it's kind of fun to sit in front of your TV or YouTube and just make some little cluster embellishment tab thingamabobs, whatever you want to call them. I don't like that. And we'll say one for the other side. Okay. So I'm going to go over to my sewing machine real quick, and then we'll stitch this, and then you can see what it looks like. Just dropping things over here. I'd like to say that I'm going to speed through this part for you guys, but I won't because I'm lazy. So bear with me in the sound of the sewing machine. Difficulties over here. I've got a piece of thread that is stuck. Okay, there we go. Let's try now. All right. You'll see in a second, it just looks better. I think so anyway. It looks way better with the stitching on it. See? And then you can add like little buttons, which, you know, depending on what I put it in, will determine on what like 3D embellishments that I add to it. All right, so now that that side's done, let's speed through the next side since it's already been 30 minutes. Oh, apparently we're not gonna just make a bunch of stuff because I don't know how to do this quickly. Let's do this at the top. Oh, that's really hairy, huh? It's hot in here. I might turn the camera off after this and then just maybe like string a couple videos together because, ooh, it does not feel good in here. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? This will test my ceiling fan theory. I am gonna turn my ceiling fan on. And at the 31:05 mark, if I hear a humming, I know that it's from my ceiling fan. All right. Because you know I'm not editing this video because that would be way too ambitious of me. Oh, it feels so much better with the ceiling fan on. All right. Let's go this on the outside because the other one's facing the inside. Time is it? It's 12 o'clock. I have to get my workouts done. My overambitious self decided that I needed to start doing 2 workouts a day, and I'm doing I didn't decide it. It's part of a challenge I'm doing. I'm doing the 75 hard challenge, and I am on day 18. And one of the requirements is having to do 2 workouts, 45 minutes each, and one of them has to be outside no matter the weather. So me and my infinite wisdom decided that that was a great idea in the middle of summer when it's monsoon season and it's 300 bajillion degrees out. That number doesn't even make sense. And normally I've been getting up at like 4:30 to do that workout in the morning while it's still dark and not sunny. But this week, I don't know what my deal is. I have literally slept until after 6 every morning and put off my outdoor workout until nighttime, which I know is like a horrible cycle to be in because I know that's why I'm not getting up early, is because I'm doing my workout at like 8 o'clock at night. So then I've got a ridiculous amount of energy, and then I can't sleep, and so I go to bed later, and it's just a terrible cycle. So that is a whole lot of information that you didn't want to know. Where did that piece just jump to? Oh, there it is. So anyways, I still have to do my indoor workout, which I try to do earlier in the day so that I don't know, I just feel better when I do it. But I try and do it earlier because there has to be a 3-hour window in between workouts. And you can't split them up. It's not like I can do a 30-minute and then later on do a 15-minute or two 20 minutes or anything like that. So it's a very interesting challenge. The whole reason I'm doing it's not necessarily for the fitness aspect of it, but I've been in kind of a weird mental space lately and I need to get my head right. So that's how I'm doing it, or I'm attempting to anyway. So like I said, I'm on day 18, so 56, 57 more days, something like that. We'll see. Where'd that punch go? Stuck again. Oh, that's probably why there was a piece of paper in it. Let's see. Well, that's not a very clean punch, is it? Oh, well, it'll mostly be hidden anyway. Doesn't matter. Alright, so this one is almost done. Definitely needs something right here. It's this piece. Nope, don't like it. What about? I didn't think this through very good, did I? Oh, you know what? I actually have. Where is it? Oh my god, literally, where did I put it? Where it's at. Alright, another piece of fabric. When in doubt, fabric. Oh, wait. Here it is. Blue and pink? That could work. This time, though, I'm not actually going to scrunch it and make a ruffle. I'm just gonna glue it down, and then we'll stitch over it. So if you are gluing things down before you stitch, make sure your glue is dry, otherwise you're gonna gunk up your needle and your machine. And if all you use your machine for is paper crafting, that's fine, but, well, it's not fine, but it's not as big of a deal. But if you use your machine for other things, then I would definitely let your glue dry first. Don't do what I'm about to do right now. Trim all the pieces later. I like the way that turned out, so you can kind of tell, like, if this was a page, then this would be on the edge of it. Kind of cool, right? Oh, kind of messy, kind of junky, but I like it. I think it's fun. So anyways, we are 39 minutes in, and I think that's quite long enough for now. Any questions or anything, let me know. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please, would mean the world to me. If not, that's cool too. But I'm not above begging. Give it a like. Maybe it'll show up in other people's feeds. Maybe it won't. I don't know how the whole algorithm thing works. Anyways, have a wonderful rest of your day.